Hi!
Welcome back to the
WandaVision
After-show. And I still can't get that intro right where
I messed it up
it
too.
doesn't
It's all good.
where it doesn't show our faces in between the countdown
Oh, yeah.
and the and
It's a work
the
in progress.
the intro video. But yeah, welcome back.
Hi.
We are Han and
Crispy. Right. I'm Chris. You can call me the Rice Crispy.
yes, and we are the hosts of the WandaVision After-show.
We sure are.
We sure are. So let's talk about that new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer.
Exactly.
No, we're talking about
God. Wait,
WandaVision.
we could talk about it too. It's pretty
We
good.
can.
We'll talk
Yeah.
about it when it comes out too. But
Yeah,
maybe.
we're going to do a show on that too.
Yes, nice.
Let's talk about that later. First of all, welcome. This is Hunt Talk's first channel, Star Wars channel, and now a little bit of Marvel as well. And if you're new here, welcome. Please check out the channel for other videos and check out our other WandaVision videos to see some cool theories and stuff like that. And you are welcome to join the conversation in the live chat if you want to, or in the comment section below. Tell us your theories about the show and what you're most excited for and what you're looking forward to coming up. And today was episode 6. Dropped about a couple hours ago, and it was a good episode, like all the episodes. And I guess we'll just jump into our general thoughts. Do you want to go first, like always?
Rude. Are you calling me out? Okay. I mean, I thought it was a great episode. It ended too quickly. Once again, it just felt like it went by really fast. I wish we had longer episodes.
Way too short.
You know, but I mean, we only have like 3 quote unquote episodes left. I'm so nervous, but excited.
Oh yeah. Dang.
I don't like to think about that, but it's coming. But we are heading somewhere, and it's getting crazier and weirder each time. This was a really good episode in terms of like adding different like things that we have been like thinking about, like Vision starting to finally try to break free, literally and figuratively.
Yep.
And with the whole like trying to like, even Wanda is questioning Quicksilver. We have a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, look at Vision. Like, he just broke through. I mean, obviously it didn't work out for him, and it was a little bit like too painful, and he was kind of being torn apart and kind of just being sucked back in. So what does that say? Like, I hope that we see some sort of explanation about what happened. I mean, clearly he will still have his memories, even though he kind of just reformed. But I'm excited to see what happens after that. Once again, I am sorry. I need to talk about the opening. Almost right out of the bat. It was so good. For this episode, I got a lot of different like vibes. Of course, like the most obvious one is Malcolm in the Middle with the opening and how the kid is like speaking to the camera and whatnot. Just how it's like mostly from the kid's point of view. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Also, being a Disney property, I thought that it was kind of similar to the opening of the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did say that.
where Matt is like taking his camera and like spying on Lizzie, and with his little like toy car with the camera, all that, like being like, oh, I'm being sneaky and stuff like that. But I mean, we have a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of other Easter eggs to stuff from the time. That also, I have a theory, is also just not meant to be like, oh, look, it's stuff from the 90s and 2000s, but it's meant to say about the show. Obviously, it's not going to be like a weird cameo from like Mr. Incredible or something, but like, it's not just there for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
But oh my God, even outside the Hex, we have a lot of stuff going on. We'll get into it, but I keep saying it. I don't like that man. The only man outside the Hex that I respect is Mr. Wu.
You talking about the sword guy?
Yeah.
The director?
He is bad news.
Yeah.
I mean, first, he's stupid. Second, he's suspicious. I don't like his face. Well, I don't like looking at his face because I know he's evil, is what I mean. His face is whatever. I don't care.
Well, he's definitely got something that he's keeping to himself that we don't know about. My general thoughts were not the best episode. Probably my least favorite episode, but it was still enjoyable. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, it's hard to compete with the other episodes, especially last one.
Yeah, this one was kind of like like, okay, we've established inside and outside of the hex, so this one's just kind of like an enjoyable episode.
Yeah.
It was still good. I really loved the intro as well, especially opening up with the electric guitar.
Yeah.
And I've never seen Malcolm in the Middle, but this whole episode actually reminded me more of Scrubs, and I don't know if Malcolm does it, but when they like drift off and they have like
Yeah.
imaginations or whatever.
It's a very sitcom-y thing, kind of like, I mean, not to be like, it also got overused then later by like Family Guy with the cutaways and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's a very sitcom-y thing. Definitely Scrubs, Malcolm in the Middle, a bunch of like Disney sitcom-y shows will have stuff like that where it's just like, oh, and then go back to reality kind of thing, either flashbacks or not.
Yeah, and I think this one takes place in what we talked about, possibly late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
For several of the references, and also on the movie theater. What is it called? The marquee. The
I think
movie that we're playing were The Incredibles and The Parent Trap. So that would imply it was sometime between 1998 and 2004.
Yeah.
And it introduced the children's new powers, and
I'm glad they're introducing that too. I'm glad they're introducing that.
Oh yeah,
right off the bat, pretty much.
And I like that Vision was starting to explore things outside of, I guess, just the little barrier that Wanda set up for him, and he's trying to figure out everything. It's different. I don't know. There's some other stuff we're going to talk about today. We're going to kind of discuss some of the people's popular theories out there, and what still possibly could be going on. I think my favorite part of this episode was when Wanda was expanding the border.
Oh my god.
And kind of increasing its diameter, and it was sucking up everything around it, and like turning things into like the carnival.
So funny.
Yeah.
Exposing those soldiers for the clowns they are.
And you were sad about Darcy being sucked into it.
I mean, I know she's gonna be fine, but I'm scared. Also, I wish we could have seen her in some like 80s, 2000s outfit. I just wanted to see.
Oh, we will.
Like, I know we will.
What if she's playing her character, like she's dressed as one of her old characters from like one of the old shows she was in? Because I remember
a diner girl, I would lose my mind.
She was also in what was that movie she was in where she was like a snobby teenager?
Oh, wait, I know.
It was it was an Amanda Bynes movie, a Lohan movie. It was some kind of big movie, but that'd be cool if she was that character again, and it like played into that. I don't know.
I'm just scared like the next episode is gonna be like the Modern Family ones. She'll just be wearing like a regular t-shirt and like skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see her in some like weird outfit.
No, she's too eccentric of a character for them to want to do that. That's it for like the general thoughts I had. Did you have anything else like general stuff?
I'm trying to think. I mean, it's a Halloween episode. I'm gonna be happy regardless. I like costumes.
Yeah, finally.
I like cosplay. I'm also so happy that we got some weird explanations for their comic book outfits.
Yeah,
it was
funny.
A little bit ridiculous, but I really enjoyed that. We can go more into detail later. But I just thought it was really cute to see them just walking around in these ridiculous outfits. Just solid color, bright, weird hair, completely like neon face paint. Like,
yeah, I really want Vision's costume. That'd be so cool.
We should do it.
Yeah. So let's talk about like some of the popular theories out there that people have been like heavily, joining together on, and because a lot of them we haven't spent too much time on the show kind of discussing those theories that I hear outside. I mean, you have, but for myself, because I don't really understand the comics, I've never even bothered to look at them. But one of the biggest ones that is going around is obviously this character here, Mephisto.
The devil.
And yeah, for the past couple weeks I've been hearing his name, but I haven't been hearing any kind of explanation of who he is except that he's the devil. So I decided to look up for myself who this person actually is, and I'll give you guys the definition I found on Marvel's fandom website. So Mephisto, sometimes using the name Mephistopheles or even Satan, among many others, is a powerful demonic shape-shifting being and one of the main antagonists of the Marvel Comics. He is one of several such demons that feed off humanity's belief in the devil, so as to masquerade of Satan himself. In reality, however, Mephisto's origin seems to lie with the primordial elder gods that ruled Earth before being banished by Adam, the God Eater. The exact nature of his origin varies with the story to story, but tends to vary between the old gods of being corrupted or the demons being formed by the already plentiful corruption found in the elder gods. He is Ghost Rider and Silver Surfer's infamous arch-enemy, while serving as an enemy to other heroes like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, and he served as the main antagonist of the Ghost Rider series and a major villain in the Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange, and the Avengers series.
Mm-hmm.
So what's interesting about him, which I found in my research as well, was he is also leagues more powerful than Thanos. And Stan Lee himself once said that Thanos would be like a bug compared to him or something like that. I forgot what his quote was exactly, but Stan Lee, I forgot the other guy who created Mephisto, but Stan Lee is one of the creators. Might have been Kirby. I don't know. Maybe there's a third one that was like a weird name. I can't remember. But yeah, so after reading that, he does also have synchronicities with Wanda in the comics as well. I don't know specifics, but I do know that's one thing I read as well. And so yeah, I've never really thought about how he could tie into this at all. I still don't know his powers or his specific storylines, but have you considered Mephisto and how or why this would happen?
Mephisto. So I think one of the main reasons. Oh, sorry, I'm like stretching out a little bit. My leg got caught. My leg fell asleep. Anyway, sorry. What I was gonna say is that I think that one of the first reasons that people started saying, "Oh, Mephisto's behind this," is because of the whole kind of like House of M thing. And I think, if I remember correctly, like the first version of Tommy and Billy aren't real, and they're real to be like made up of like shards of Mephisto or some sort of like part of him.
Yeah,
something like that, and that he is like some. I mean, I'm kind of blanking out right now, honestly, but he is very related to like that whole storyline with how like Wanda kind of losing it in a way. So it would make sense to bring him in for this and then to tie in that into Doctor Strange, since he is a very like popular Doctor Strange villain. The thing is, I think at first people didn't really think that was going to happen because I mean, how do you bring in the devil himself and be like, oh yeah, we're going to beat the devil? But maybe not like the devil, but he would literally be what you think of as the devil.
Yeah.
But I mean, he can pretty much control you and just shape your reality, which is kind of what Wanda does as well.
So if it was Mephisto, then what does that character want out of this story?
Probably just control and power.
Just to
maybe a vessel.
Just to thrive off people's suffering. Belief in the devil, like the definition said, and just feed off that fear and that like negative energy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It sounds risky to me. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure they would know how to do it the correct way and stuff. But Mephisto is definitely an option because we have no idea what the hell we're dealing with.
It might also be how how in the not in the comics, in the MCU, they do explain the magic is actually like very advanced science. Like maybe it's something like that, and it's like there's a proper explanation for it. He just has a lot of power.
Yeah.
And he's not an elder god or whatever, but he's like feeding off of that. He's like, oh yeah, I'll make myself that. And he just is able to feed off that energy. So he likens himself to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And I remember a lot of people, and I was also thinking like maybe Evan Peters' Quicksilver was Mephisto trying to like shapeshift to be like, hey, you can trust me, because he's kind of like trying to feed off information. But what if he is a puppet and Mephisto instead is the sword guy? And that's why he's being so
I can
like
see that.
intense about the whole thing, and
Yeah, I can
trying
see
to
that.
frame Wanda as the evil one.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I can see that too.
yeah,
That'd be really cool.
and I mean, he's definitely out there for Vision and Wanda, and he wants to contain Wanda and maybe gain control over her, and also get to Vision's technology.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Wanda like broke him out. But then she also got really unstable and kind of kidnapped the whole town. But she meant well. She meant well. I'd like to believe that, and I know that you kind of do feel the same way. It's just getting a little bit hard to be like, oh yeah, she doesn't mean to harm people, but also she's kind of keeps doing it.
Right.
And now she's expanding. I'm like, girl, it's okay. Like, you don't have to do this. Please don't. We're here defending you, girl.
Well, you brought up some interesting points about the overall story too, which I want to get back into later. But there was one other major theory that I wanted to talk about. You could bring up some that you've heard of as well. But the other one, which is actually not a very popular opinion, and one that I've actually elaborated on myself. So this is an extension of other people's theories. But what if the Mind Stone itself is the actual villain of this series? And it's controlling everything. Yes, it was destroyed in Endgame, you could argue. But at the same time,
you're able to go
it's
back.
oh, you can go back, but there could still be like an essence of it out there, because the Infinity Stones are sentient beings, even though they're not. They're biological in some way and created from cosmic energy. So if you destroy it, it might just be scattered,
right? Like
rather than all condensed.
It's kind of like that whole thing.
Yeah,
you can't destroy matter; it just changes form.
Yeah. And that's how Vision could be back to life, kind of manipulating Wanda to try and push it even further to recreate everything together. And an example to back this up is from the trailer of WandaVision. There are these pictures of Wanda looking at something in kind of disbelief with the yellow hue of it. And then this other shot here of her reaching out to touch it. What if this is the Mind Stone? And if I played the clip, you could see it starts off as a small circle and then it explodes to this, how it is now. And I don't know, maybe that could be a possible theory.
Yeah. Or do you think it's being corrupted in some way as well?
But yeah, by Mephisto.
By
this ugly man right here.
Vision can exist without the Mind Stone now, pretty much because of what Shuri did during Infinity War.
What'd she do?
So remember, they were like, oh, I think Bruce was like, hey, so he's not just the Mind Stone. Like, he's developed further than that. And he still has like technically muscle memory, but like heart memory technically.
Oh yeah.
There's other things to him aside from that, obviously. And Shuri was trying to like, remember when they were like, when she breaks out of the building, she's like, oh, why did you keep her off this whole time? Like, she was with him, and Shuri was like examining the Mind Stone and trying to like,
oh, that's right, she was
body to keep him alive while they used them. Took the Mind Stone up. So I mean, maybe the Mind Stone will be something completely separate from Vision, and that could happen.
Yeah, probably.
That could actually happen. Or maybe it got separated, then it got into the wrong hands. Maybe even the sword guy, maybe someone else, maybe Mephisto himself, and it'll just...
Yeah, but have you ever thought about this photo?
I hadn't really until you brought that up now.
Any other ideas of what this could be? The sun itself.
Oh my god, that'd be cool.
I don't know, but it's interesting.
She makes a new sun.
Literally. So that's all interesting stuff. We can get into actual plot points of everything, but one thing I just wanted to say that I saw this on Twitter was, this is how I feel every time we finish watching an episode is bring me next Friday. Every single week. I feel like the episodes are getting shorter, but they're actually just getting more gripping. And
oh my god, yesterday, like last night, we were just watching a lot of stuff, just binging, because we watched all of like these Hotel Cecil documentary on Netflix, and then right after we went to WandaVision, and we just kept clicking like more, and then we're like, wait, there's not more for WandaVision. We have to wait till next Friday. And then we just kind of went to bed.
And the other way that we feel watching this show, and this is one that you showed me, but this is
this is basically a summation of the plot of WandaVision. So here we go. Roll.
Wanda, you got some splaining to do.
that is every week of WandaVision right there. Essentially,
That's the
Vision's
whole
thought
plot.
process. Yes.
Oh my God, Vision! We need to keep talking about Vision and his whole like how he's slowly figuring stuff out.
Okay, let's talk about Vision then.
Yes.
Let's talk about this
Here
scene
we
and everything
go.
else.
Oh my God, this poor man. This poor synthesoid man.
So what do you think about him being more self-aware? He can remember who he is, but he doesn't remember like what an Avenger is or where he
Yeah.
comes from, etc.
I feel like him knowing who he is very surface level. He knows he is the Vision. That is his name. But he has a whole very limited set of memories. And some of them might be just literally sitcom memories. I don't think he has access to his full brain. Like maybe he doesn't even have his like memory card in or something. I don't know. That
Yeah.
sounds weird. But honestly, I just wish that he could kind of tap himself into snapping out of it like he has to other people.
Yeah, I mean, he
The thing
probably
is-
could, honestly.
But can he though?
No idea. I didn't even know he had that power until this show, honestly.
I mean, it makes sense if he has the Mind Stone or he has been impacted by the Mind Stone. He probably has like mind power in this. Like, it just he looks like he's through so much pain and just so scared and confused,
Yeah.
but still trying to keep like everything's normal. And it's so sad. I'm just like, he's really trying to work things out here.
Yeah.
So much that he just sees the pain in other people, but they're having to go along with it because they have no choice.
Yeah, and he's
So-
having to lie to his wife because he thinks she's behind it.
Exactly, because that's what everybody keeps telling him. Like he sees what she's been doing, and he asks her about it, and she'll just brush it off.
Yep.
And then he just keeps seeing all these people stuck and not being able to like even live their own lives, literally having to go through this charade. And so he tries to break out to see what is out there. I know that later on they'll like fight together. Maybe something happens and they side again. But right now it's looking really tough for them. Like even the kids within the sitcom scripts, technically, they're still arguing and having disagreements and not being on the same page. Little do they know, like he's literally not on the same page at all. He's trying to go off book, literally.
Yeah.
And trying to see what's out there, and he's being pulled back in. It's like she's got a magnet that will just bring him back. It's almost as if he can exist out there. He can. He's still alive when he goes outside the hex, but he's being ripped apart.
Yeah.
So it's just heartbreaking. And well, you can't tell because we're not on the screen. But I wonder how that is that he got like sucked in. Do you think that would happen to people who started inside the hex? Because
No, I
I mean,
think
it
it's
didn't
just
happen to
Vision.
Monica because she came from the outside.
Right.
But what if, like, yeah, I assume it's just Vision, but like, it's kind of scary to think about. Like, what if, because the other people can't sleep? Has somebody tried? Did they just shut down? Like they start doing at the outskirts of the town?
I don't believe anyone has left
Yeah.
or tried. I think
mean,
this is the first
they
time.
can't for sure. Because I
Right.
remember like the doctor, he's like, oh, you can't leave. And then like now people just kind of shut down
Yeah.
once they get to like the other streets.
Yeah. Well, Vision's journey is interesting. He was like, I think the best moment for me was when he was walking through the parts of the town that hasn't registered that there was like,
Activity.
yeah, I explained to you, like it's like going into a level of the game and it hasn't registered you've walked in it yet, and everything's frozen and hasn't,
Started.
yeah. And so that was pretty cool. And then
It
when he
was
walks
terrible,
past
yeah.
the woman who's like crying, like she's stuck in a loop or whatever, and like you could tell these people are somewhat conscious about like what's happening to them. And the whole thing where he took Agnes out of her, like in her what do you call that, hypnotism, and she it looked as though maybe she was trying to escape,
Yeah.
but then
'cause
got
like,
frozen.
Oh, sorry, I took a wrong turn. It's like,
Which is weird because I thought she was a part of it because she asked Wanda if
Yeah.
she would start from the top when everyone else seems like
Yeah,
they
it
have
doesn't
no
add up.
control. So, yeah, it's very
Do you think
confusing.
she's doing that on purpose? Because I think it might be, because she's definitely aware of the restarting and all that. Also, with the whole Agatha Harkness thing, I don't think they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, that was a misdirect." Like, I don't think they'll do a red herring that big. I think she's trying to like poke the bear.
Well, her and the Frankenstein guy, their neighbor, are the only two that have actually acknowledged that they're in some kind of play.
Yeah.
And if she is some kind of force behind it or knows what's going on, she could have ran over there in her car and then played pretend really quick so she could be the thing to convince Vision to like do something. But she was trying to convince him to help them. So I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't really understand what's going on. It's kind of frustrating the more I think about it.
Oh, sorry. Just because speaking of Agnes, I just remembered another theory that I've heard because we haven't seen Ralph. There's a lot of
Who?
like Ralph, her husband, who she keeps mentioning.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So people are saying maybe he's Mephisto and he's trying to like gain a form. We're saying that Mr. Scratch the Bunny was Mephisto because no, hear me out. Maybe the bunny was Mephisto in some sort of way because he so a common name for the devil is Mr. Scratch or Nicholas Scratch.
Okay.
So Mr. Scratchy could be related to that. Or maybe it's just she's in some way in contact with Mephisto, so she has little references sprinkled in. Some people are saying Dottie, but literally she hasn't shown up like since episode 2, so I highly doubt it.
Actually, I'm glad you brought up the bunny because I forgot to mention with the dog.
Yeah.
The dog's death and how I might just be reading into it, like how English teachers read into blue curtains. But the a dog dying can be like symbolism for, and you don't have like an emotional support system, which she really doesn't. Like she's trying to will her husband, trying to will her brother into existence, and her children, which none of which exist.
Right.
And which kind of, I forgot where I was going with that, but her brother, I forgot to mention, I wanted to talk about Quicksilver for a little bit because Quicksilver is officially, and welcome to the chat, Luke. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. And I didn't mention Marcello. Mephisto is one sick B. I agree. But Quicksilver is actually having a little bit bigger of a role than I thought was going to have in the show. I thought it was just going to be this scene, and then that's it. But the fact that they were able to keep it a secret from most people. Chris did actually see the scene from today's episode like 3 weeks ago.
I know. I got spoiled for the part where it's like, "Oh, your dead husband can't die twice, can he?" And then she like blasts him off. I'm like, I thought that's when they were gonna introduce him.
I hate people that do that.
I saw it by accident watching like a thing of like the promos for it, and somebody just slipped that in, and I'm just like,
people
they
suck.
also did put the Quicksilver cash back card from whatever Samuel Jackson promotes, and I'm like, okay, that one's fake. That one's just a coincidence. That would be hilarious though. Speaking of the ad for this episode, it didn't seem to have like a super big reference, but that was creepy as hell and accurate.
Oh, I forgot to get a photo of it.
I literally once it came out, I'm like, it's gonna be a yogurt commercial.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like Danimals Go-Gurt.
She called it.
But it was in like the cup and the kid just dies. Like, Jesus. The kid kept aging rapidly.
Yeah.
And he died.
I was just about to say that. It was for survivors, so the kids obviously aren't real. It's all coming together, but not really, because we have no idea what the hell is going on in the show. That was a creepy commercial. It did remind me of like my childhood commercials, some of which are weird.
Yeah.
That Nickelodeon drama.
Definitely very Nick, very like the not only just Go-Gurt, but like the Fruit Gusher commercials that are kind of like traumatizing.
Yes. Back to Quicksilver.
Yes. As himself.
At one point, when Wanda turns around and faces him again, he's like, he looks dead, just like how Vision did. So
gunshots.
She's obviously reanimating this guy too. So this guy is not from the other universe, and she just gave him a new face, probably because trauma, or like, you know, when you haven't like, she probably never had a picture of her brother, and so like maybe she like, yeah, because like if you don't have a picture of someone and they pass away and you kind of forget what they look like, that might be what's happening here. And they just did this cameo for funsies, you know, that could be what it is. But anyway, it looks like Quicksilver's in it for probably, so it's kind of shocking. And I love the kick-ass reference that was in there. That was brilliant. So good. I forgot what the line was, but I
remember we were both listening, and then we just both say kick-ass, and she said kick-ass. Like,
it was great. It was a great line.
I'm also shocked they said that.
I guess so, yeah. Ass? Maybe not in this show.
I mean, maybe like in the movies they say stuff like damn and like higher than that. Yeah. But like I don't know if I ever heard ass. Maybe like ass kicking.
Yeah.
I mean, that would count.
America's ass.
I haven't heard it. Yeah, America's ass. But I haven't heard it in like Disney Plus. I haven't heard ass there.
Me neither. Luke in the chat says spoilers were out quick for this episode. Happens every week. Yeah. It's a shame. That's why I kind of even stay away from the promos myself. But recently I've been like watching it because I'm excited. You also say that I remember after Force Awakens, after the midnight showing, UK got it before the USA, and people were posting photos of Han's death at 3:30 a.m. So right after it finished.
I got that one too.
Yeah, you got that spoiled too. I didn't.
You lucky bee.
I didn't have like any social media at the time, so I was completely fine. I didn't even. That's why I didn't even know there was like backlash against Daisy Ridley because I didn't care. I wasn't online. I was excited for the movie. I didn't think about any of that kind of stuff. So, but anyway, that's like that. Yeah, that's a bunch of lame Star Wars stuff. Why would we want to talk about that on this chat? I'm kidding. Okay. Thanks for joining, Luke. Send in your theories about WandaVision if you have any. But yeah, spoilers, they kind of stink. One thing that I thought was going to be in this episode was this scene, because they hijacked a truck. It's definitely in the next one, because they're going to have. I like this photo better. They're gonna meet whoever Rambo's contact is, and I'm pretty sure it's Nick Fury. It's gotta be.
Also, they did kind of reference Nick Fury in this episode with the Halloween costumes that they had in the flashback. Pietro and Natasha. Yeah, he had like an eye patch and like a leather jacket.
I didn't even catch that.
Some people were saying that they were dressed as Black Widow and Nick Fury. The thing is that doesn't make sense with the time. I think it was just like a Easter egg. She's supposed to be some bug with red hair, and he has an eye patch and a jacket.
Yeah.
Maybe just supposed to be just spies in general, or she's a bug, or I don't know. It was weird, but yeah, definitely a Nick Fury reference, I think.
Well, I mean, Wanda, you need to give us some answers soon.
Wanda, you got some splaining to do.
Never gets old.
So let's talk about Wanda, the lead character of this show. So she's getting a little darker, I believe.
Definitely we'll see her become the Scarlet Witch, like officially.
Yeah. What does that entail, though? How is that different than what she is now? Is Scarlet Witch in the comics evil?
No, she's just a troubled character.
Or you mean because she hasn't given that title yet?
Yes, because I think if I remember correctly, it is a title that gets passed down in like her family line or something. And they keep referencing her Sokovian background in this episode. She says that her Scarlet Witch outfit is her dressing up as a Sokovian fortune teller.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. I'm just like, I mean, they dress like that? Damn. Nice.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a cute outfit. What's the headband though? I don't get it. Which I know is just meant to be like a funny jab at the comics and saying like, oh no, I'm not dressed as myself. This is obviously trademark costume, partycity.com.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
I love them. I love their outfits.
Yeah, they're so cute.
I loved her, all the dialogue she shared with Pietro, and because I mean, essentially, she's just talking to herself, you know, because
she's trying to figure out like what happened.
Yeah.
Kind of, it seems more introspective because he's very like trying to dig in, and she's trying to remember her past, or she doesn't even know how this started. At least she claims to not remember how she got this whole hex world going.
She could have done it to herself too, like made her give herself amnesia or something
to like protect herself, kind of like a trauma thing.
Yeah, but it's all so confusing. I'm a little nervous that there's 3 episodes left, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because this one felt so short, but I don't have any theories. I have no idea what's going to happen. I think Nick Fury's going to come, but as far as like stopping Wanda, it's going to have to be Vision. It's going to have to be Vision to stop her, even though
I think
Wanda's the only person that can kill Vision. It's going to have to be flipped. Either Vision's going to have to stop Wanda, or Wanda will kill Vision a third time. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen.
Honestly,
and what is the director's secret? Because Darcy said that there was one thing in the code that was under strict firewall, and that she was breaking, and she broke it at the last second, and then she got sucked into the hex. So now we're not going to find out.
I saw a theory, and it would also kind of tie into like the whole X-Men thing in a way, because somebody mentioned that what if he's trying to build Sentinels?
Is that a comic book thing?
Yeah.
Or you mean like robots?
You saw Days of Future Past, right?
The
one where they have both timelines, and they have like the big robots that are like anti-mutants.
Oh, in like the Nixon era?
Yeah.
Okay, I do remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, so some people were speculating that what if it's some sort of weapon, and they're gonna bring that in, and that's some sort of weapon based on Vision.
Yeah,
to stop
they're always wanting to build weapons
or aliens or whatever they're trying to do there at Sword, or this
Marvel,
man's nefarious.
Marvel, Star Wars, they're always trying to build a Death Star or some kind of snapping device. So, another thing I forgot to mention was every episode they talk more and more about Wanda and Pietro's parents.
Yeah.
So they've got to be building to something, because this one, they were like, you ever think about Mom and Dad? And she did the same thing she does every week, when like every time something's introduced, she like takes a moment and like looks off and thinks about it. And then it comes into existence. That happened with the children. That happened with Pietro. And now next episode, we're probably going to see her parents.
Oh my God. I wish they hadn't used Kitty and like the boss guy for that. And they were like fake parents or something. Like they're fake parents.
Yeah.
Or what if they're still there and she just repurposes them to be their parents and act as their parents? That'd be kind of creepy and would work with the whole thing. I don't know.
The director could disguise himself as a parent. Okay, there was one thing that was interesting that doesn't make any sense. When she expanded the perimeter of the hex and it sucked in other things and it turned them into stuff that fit the time period and fit the narrative, are those people going to be hypnotized or not?
Possibly.
Because when the B guy, the hazmat guy, walked in, he wasn't under hypnosis. He walked in, he was the same. So do they have to be in contact with Wanda to be manipulated?
I mean, maybe the B guy was to some degree, because Wanda was able to kick him out.
Oh, he died. I think Wanda killed him.
Oh,
because we haven't heard about.
Well, then we don't know if he was hypnotized or not. He would just be like, and then she's like, no, and then goodbye. But I don't know, because I mean, so far everything else has molded to Wanda's vision. But and here, I mean, they turn into clowns. I don't think the clowns would be there like, we gotta stop her, pew pew, like. Although people would be like, ha ha ha, funny clown, do it again, water squirt gun, or something, or like the car dealership or the churro truck.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they'll still. Maybe they'll still have their memories, kind of like the other people, but I don't think they'll be just like a reskin. I think they would just assimilate to the program.
Yeah.
Or freeze, because they're in the outer part anyway.
Yeah. What the last thing I'll say about this episode is I love the ending where the whole unit of Sword was sucked in, minus the director and his two minions, and Monica and Wu got away. And I love that because Monica's gonna have to come in and save the day, and she was the one that was kind of banished from that unit. So it's kind of like a screw you to that guy. You should have kept her on or whatever.
Yeah,
he still could be evil, so it makes sense either way. But she's gonna come with Nick Fury, and they're gonna break in and save the day, and they're gonna have Carol Danvers with them or something. I don't know.
But didn't they say the guy that she's getting is an aerospace engineer or something? Does he have that title?
Nick Fury?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's who they're getting. Because they're building it up too much. Who else is it gonna be? Who else does Monica know?
True.
Tony Stark?
But he's dead.
Is he?
I mean, we keep seeing some dead people over here, maybe.
I have no idea. Do you have any last minute thoughts on this, or like theories about what's happening next week?
John Krasinski. He's already in the show. Sorry, I will never let that joke go. It's so funny, but I do wish it was that. That'd be so cool.
He's already the FBI agent.
I know, exactly.
Can't be
like
two
that's
characters.
ridiculous. I mean, Gemma Chan's 2 characters in the MCU, so maybe.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, speaking of like Gemma Chan, and like that brought me to Eternals. I didn't know the guy from Train to Busan is gonna be in the Eternals too.
The lead guy?
No, I wish. No, it's the guy who had his wife having the baby.
I don't remember.
Like the chubbier guy.
I don't remember.
Who's like really tough but like really sweet.
I don't remember.
Okay, but he's gonna be in it apparently. And there was like a cute photo of him holding like the tiniest little cat. I thought it was cool. He's gonna be in there. I didn't know that he did.
Yeah, I'm excited for Eternals.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good. Sorry for the detour. I saw a comment here from Luke about having a serious, sincere movie with the costumes like that. I really hope so. It kind of reminds me of there was this, I think it was like College Humor or something sketch where they had the X-Men as directed by Wes Anderson, and I'm just like, I want this movie so bad with the tacky outfits with like bright yellow and like X's.
Yes,
just super like.
I would watch that. I would love it.
Like, yeah, I would want a superhero movie directed by like, I mean, obviously we already have Taika Waititi, but like Guillermo del Toro, Wes Anderson, something like super like super different, to see something just very like true to the style, but also, I mean, I guess Guillermo del Toro has made superhero movies. I consider Hellboy superhero movies. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, I do agree. I do want to see them in like Fantastic Four movie. That one suits the camp exactly. That would be, I mean, they're ridiculous characters to begin with. Like, I mean, you have a rock dude. You have like stretchy man. Don't kill me. I'm calling them like this on purpose. Like, it would fit perfectly to just have them. You have a fireball. Like, you can make that as cheesy as you want.
Yeah. On that note, on more of a theoretical approach to like how Marvel movies are made, it's like they shouldn't be this good. They shouldn't be this entertaining and authentic, because like you said, the Fantastic Four are some of the stupidest like ideas ever, like silliest ideas.
I mean, we have a tree and a raccoon best friends who kick ass.
Yeah,
like,
that too. Guardians of the Galaxy. But like with the Thing,
yeah,
I think that's like in both movie versions the most unappealing, and
they make them they'd have not. I mean, I will say I like the originals more than what they did with like Miles Teller. It's not just because I really don't like Miles Teller, but also they just made the Thing look like a poop. Like literally. Like if somebody really dehydrated, just like that's what it is. Like Javier Bardem as Dr. Chef's kiss. Please.
Oh, there you go.
Please. I mean, he would bring like a seriousness, but also I'm sure that he's able to like show, like he could be menacing, but also just kind of be just a smug little bee.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that would be so good. Damn. Who's your cast for Johnny though? Because I will not take any other answers but Emily Blunt and John Krasinski, unless you have something really good.
I don't know.
Who would you say? Because I mean, I know
I-
just Chris Evans.
I have no idea.
I mean-
I've never even thought about it.
Michael B. Jordan, if he had been in a better movie, not like Fan Forstig, would have been a good Johnny Storm. But I do think he makes a better Killmonger though.
Oh yeah.
But just don't say Timothy Chalamet or something dumb like that.
Yeah. There was one interesting theory I heard that's kind of related, but it's more about Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's the rumor that Chadwick Boseman's last appearance is in Falcon and Winter Soldier, because they shot Falcon and Winter Soldier 2 years ago.
Oh,
they shot it that long ago. They didn't finish principal photography,
but makes sense.
And the last time it was reported that Chadwick was like acting was during the time they were shooting it, and with his relationship to Bucky, and also he's the guy who let go the bad guy. What's his name?
Like
Zemo? Yeah, he let him go. Remember? He's the one who didn't kill him at the end of Civil War. So he has a relationship with him as well. And so two big connections to Black Panther. So what if that is the last appearance of Chadwick Boseman? Could be.
It could be. Oh, I'm probably gonna cry.
It's probably not gonna happen, but and then with the Wakanda show coming up, could tie into that as well. So I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, somebody had made, I think it was like a TikTok or something, where it's like Bucky being like a little bit too like enthusiastic. I mean, because he literally went from living in like the World War II era to being like mind controlled to like going and like right into like this super futuristic like place in Africa like that. And he's just like having a good time finally for the first time in his life, pretty much. Like,
yep.
I do think it will probably tie into that. I completely listened with the train of thought with like the whole thing about the video that I saw, but it was really funny. But also tying into how he just has a real big love for like Wakanda. So I think at least we'll definitely see Wakanda and have him referenced, if not show up like you said.
Yeah. But I don't have any more thoughts on today's episode of WandaVision. I don't know what's going to happen next week, but I do think it might have something to do with the parents. And yeah, I'm excited to see who the mystery cameo will be next week, because I think it's coming next week, and there's only 3 episodes left, so we'll see. What are your last thoughts on everything?
That I hope I don't get it spoiled.
Oh my god.
Because I do apparently tend to attract spoilers for pretty much everything.
Poor thing. Well, tell us what you guys think in the comments of your theories. There was 2 more. Let me get to.
Oh, it's more about Javier Bardem. And
it's
a really good point. Like blending the Skyfall and Pirates, it would be pretty much like silly camp, but also a threat, which is pretty true. Hey, Disney, please listen to Luke. He's got some good ideas.
But that was it for WandaVision episode 6. We are ready for episode 7, so bring on next Friday.
Yes. Also, please have Vision talk in broken Spanish more.
Oh, yes. Chile con carne. But yes, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Give this video a like, because it helps out so much. And follow our social medias below at Han Talks First at Rice Krispie. I will be live on Monday with a new Star Wars video talking about a bunch of stuff. But and then on Wednesday next week, I'm joined by a Hollywood screenwriter who I'll be announcing. I'll be interviewing on. I'll make the announcement on Monday who I'm interviewing, and then Wednesday will be the interview. So stop by and check that out as well. The links to the podcast below. Follow us on Spotify and Apple and Google and Amazon and all the podcast outlets. And until next week, hopefully we'll get some more explanations from Wanda. But thank you so much for watching. And
bye. See you next time.
See ya.
Wanda, you got some splaining